everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Kendall. Som, Khader just joined.
Hey, Cotter, how are you?
I'm good, Kendall. How are you?
Doing well.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jordan.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lucas. All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. So it
Yeah,
looks like, go for it, Jordan.
Yeah, I think we can give them 1 more minute. I mean, usually we give them 3 minutes, so now it's at least for me is 2 minutes past the
Sure, no
time.
problem. We can give it another
So
minute.
let's give them up to 3 minutes and then we can start.
Okay, sounds good.
And now we are officially 3 minutes. So I think we can start.
Okay, great. So it looks like the first thing on the agenda is updates on the progress with the working groups. Let's see who are the leaders. I know we did have the outreach working meeting last week. Jordan or Sam, do you want to give an update?
Yeah, so I mean, I will give the update from my perspective. Some you can add to what, I mean, if I missed something, but we had quite a interesting meeting on the outreach. We discussed about what we need to do, what are the next steps for Magma, what was done up to now, and what should we do as the next steps. So we came up with couple of ideas. But the most interesting thing on that meeting was that we had participants which were people who are fresh to Magma, and then they share their experience of how they are able to kickstart their development with Magma, which was quite eye-opening for some things. And I think we got quite a good useful input from that. And I'm expecting that in the future town halls, which we will try to organize, that we will get more insights like that, and we can try to improve the situation in order to make the onboarding of the new developers and onboarding of the end users much more simple and much more easier. Some, if you want to add something.
Sure. I mean, like you said, we had discussed also a couple of different areas of the outreach. One is letting people know that Magma is transitioning to community and then we are still open for business and we're going to be simplifying things and so on. And to that effect, there are several items were discussed. One was, do we do training, or how do we make it simple for inducting in more developers and more people in the user community, and how do we get out to them? Consolidate the output channels maybe a little bit. Second was announce the community meeting so there's can be broader participation on that. Number three was figuring out what we can do through some of the training things and show and tell that's been going on, including hackathon, interoperability test, etc. And the discussion was that, are we going to have a bird of a feather session in Mobile World Congress later this month? So if there's any interest in that, if you could send the word out that we're trying to arrange that, we'll have update sometime later this week. So those are the three main areas. Anybody else who attended outreach, if you want to add something to it, feel free.
Yeah, I see Kadir here. I mean, if you want to add something to what we discussed.
No, I think Jordan, Som, you covered it really well. One thing that we also need to focus is list down what we wanted to do and prioritize, right? So we will anyways do that as a part of that working group.
Yeah, good point, Kadir. I actually took an action item to sort of put together an as-is and to-be document, which we'll have before the next outreach meeting. Well, actually, we'll have it this week. The outreach meeting is going to happen in what cadence again, Kendall?
Jordan and I agreed on every other week, but we can change the cadence if we feel we need to meet more or meet less.
No, that's fine. It's good to start with. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
of
have
course.
the document go out this week, probably tomorrow.
Sounds good. Any other updates from the outreach working group? Okay, next we can go to the security working group. I know that Lucas was working hard to get that scheduled, and it looks like it got scheduled. Is there any other updates from you, Lucas, on that?
I have a few small items. First of all, sorry, I'm going to share my screen. So the first meeting is booked in February 15th. That is basically a week and a half from now. I set that up for bi-weekly, and I wanted to ask for feedback and thoughts on that cadence. How does that compare to other groups? Does that feel like it's often enough? Like I'm trying to balance that having too many meetings, too much conversation, against not communicating enough or having enough urgency. What are people's thoughts?
I think that should be decided within the group. The participants should understand if they need more or less time.
I think that's very wise. Anybody else want to chime in?
Lucas,
I mean, for the
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, Kadir, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to say for the outreach, we said that we are going to meet each second week, and then as a start, and then we will decide what to do, if we need more or we need less. So maybe for a start, each second week would be quite good, and then you can decide if you need more or if you need less.
Cool. That's a good takeaway. The next item is so following the format on the open issues requiring urgent actions. I wanted to report that there was a disclosure this morning that seemed to have been withdrawn, and there wasn't enough information in the notification of the disclosure from the listserv to really gather anything. When I went to check it out, I got this message: the pending message has already been approved or rejected. Speaking as the main listed man, unless somebody else did that.
Yeah,
Actually,
Lucas, that was me. To me, that looked like it was spam. Was I wrong in thinking that?
it's not very high quality, so I think that's completely reasonable. Although I'd be tar-xf plug report -tar.xc. Yeah, that looks like very unreliable.
Yeah, I
was-
didn't want to click on it. I don't know, did you click on it and did it have anything in that link or in that download?
Yeah, I went to open it up, but it was gone by then.
Okay,
But I think that that's a reasonable takeaway. So cool. I mean, that actually I think shows our process is working as designed, because there's more than one of us keeping an eye on that, and that's kind of important. So that worked. The next thing I wanted to bring up is that out of the open issues, I think the most urgent is this item here, and I just want to bring this to attention of the group. Before I do that, let me ask about the extent to which we should discuss security issues in this call. What are people's thoughts? Given that it's recorded and we haven't necessarily applied the same level of vetting to participants in the call that we plan to apply to the working group. In case,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
if you want my 5 cents on this, we should not discuss beyond what we have these titles. We should not go deeply into recorded sessions with this, especially with the security.
Yeah.
So
I
we need
agree,
to
and
have separate session for this.
yeah, I agree. And I think that would be the purpose of the working group, is to be able to discuss these type things. And then if there's anything that needs to be brought forward to the TSC, then you can bring it here.
I think that works well. So I wanted to bring up this one item that is in existence and just flag that. Thinking of new proposals, I have some new ideas about how I want to improve on how we approach things in the near future. And that is bottlenecked right now on just starting up the working group. And also my own time is kind of limited to the most pressing items while I'm on a volunteer status. I'm not saying that for the sake of lobbying, but just so the community is informed. And that's all I have. Thank you for this time. Yes, and Sam, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that in terms of reporting the items on the open meeting like this, is it possible to assign at least an ID or tracking issue or something, so just we have a record of the tracks of the issues we're tracking, and very brief description, or if nothing at all, so that we at least have a way of tracking the things that are going on there.
I think that if I report them to the group or call them to the attention of the group using only the issue ID, then that'll preserve the confidentiality of the information, limit the amount of information leaked, and maintain access controls via the access controls on these security issue list. So what I will do is I will take that one issue number and I'll report it in a public channel, in the TSC channel, and leave it to people to click on that. And if they have privileges, they can see it, and otherwise not. I don't want to exaggerate the importance of that one issue, but I do think it is somewhat pressing. And so we should be aware of it.
That works for me, Jordan, Max.
No, I'm okay with what Lucas is proposing. So definitely, we need to discuss them with as little information as possible, and then we can have more discussions in a vetted group. And then if we need to disclose something to the wider community, we can decide over there as a TSC to disclose it in the wider community. So by default, this security issue should not be disclosed unless we decide as a TSC that we want to disclose.
That works for me, so I will post that, and those are all the items I have for the agenda.
Thanks, Lucas.
Just a quick question, Lucas. This is Kader. So when you identify these security gaps, right? So there are certain fixes related to the new packages that solves these security gaps, right? So the build related fixes, and in some cases we need to do a coding related fixes. So how is that addressed? Is it like you identify and you put it in the GitHub and you ask the community to do the fixes, or do we have to holistically look at this whole security thing? Any thoughts on that?
It's usually addressed offline. Like in this call, we'll form consensus on what we're going to do and identify a developer to implement whatever we're going to do. And then I will work offline with that developer and also report as I go along to the security channel in Slack, which has an access control list. So that's where status updates go. And apart from that, it's usually DM in Slack or on the issue in the security repo, which also has access controls.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else for security? Okay,
That's it.
great. Thanks, Lucas. Shubham, looks like we have you down as the volunteer for CI/CD working group. Do we have Shubham today? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here, but there are no updates from my side. Actually, I was busy elsewhere, so I couldn't focus on that.
No worries.
Is there a meeting planned on that one also, like the other working groups? Any discussions or thoughts?
Apart from the CI/CD?
For the CI/CD group, yeah. Are you planning to hold a meeting in the next 2-3 weeks?
No, actually, I don't have any plans right now. So is there someone else who would like to take a lead on that? I can contribute, but I don't think I'm in the right position to take the lead.
I don't see Tapas here. Max, I thought Max, you were leading that, right? That meeting? No.
Which meeting?
The DevOps one.
The DevOps one was initially or was managed and chaired by Niels and others. Also, Shubham chaired that. And I think Tapas was stepped up to take that. Yeah.
Sorry, this is the wrong context. We are talking about the CI/CD working group, not about the monthly DevOps meeting.
Yeah, it's the TSC asked to have a group try to propose a plan for CI/CD, and for that working group we are searching for a lead, not for the weekly sync call. I think that's we should give the working groups a clear goal. It should not just be an infinite round of syncs that just come out of that. And as a result, I would separate that from the existing DevOps course.
Yeah, to my understanding, the show and tell is where that you are tackling that, right? There's
the show and tell is there. It's here the ask is there someone that wants to take a strategic lead on the CI/CD topic within the community to propose a way forward?
Okay. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, go ahead, Kendall.
I would say, well, and to be upfront, we only have TNG contracted to the end of Q1, so we do need volunteers from the community to step up and take on these initiatives.
Yeah,
understood. So my understanding was, maybe correct me, I can actually discuss with Tapas and get back with some answers next TSC. The question is this DevOps meeting and show and tell, to my understanding, they both are one or other way aligned, because show and tell is about taking over the current DevOps activity by the community, and DevOps meeting is about the future, right? Is that understanding right?
It's somehow related, yes, but the show and tell is somehow our handover, and we are searching now for someone on the other side to take that over, or to especially here, or specifically here in that context, we are searching for someone that proposes a roadmap for CI/CD and gains the overview. And we are deliberately not stepping up to give that to the community, that lead.
Okay. Okay, so it looks like right now both have a little bit overlap, but I'll discuss with Tapas and then I'll get back to you, Kendall and so how we can help on this.
Well, perhaps not in terms of overlap. I think the clarification, the way to think about it is Niels and the TNG group is working on the current plan up to end of the Q1 for the soft landing and the winding down and stabilizing the thing. And they're doing show and tell and everything else for people that are willing to take the baton and move forward. And the CI task group, the work group that Jordan had proposed, they were discussing, was essentially for the group going forward. The guys that are going to take the baton and run forward, right? So that's, I would like to flag that as an issue, Jordan, because that is a crucial piece that we need to solve. Otherwise, it's going to wind down with nobody taking over it. So hopefully, we'll be able to identify a working group lead or someone who's going to take over the discussion.
Correct. And I mean, the idea for the CI/CD group was to make sure that we have somebody who will take care about the future of the CI/CD. What needs to be done? I mean, the handover, it's part of that future, but it's, I mean, the most important thing is to have somebody committed to CI/CD for the coming future until we have more community members to help in the CI/CD.
Okay.
And and the group, the proposed group was
as a secondary priority, preservation of institutional knowledge and kind of team knowledge is also, an important goal.
Okay, I think it's clear, understood. So thanks, Max. I mean, how many outside of TNG and Wave Labs do we have? Anyone else joining on the show and tell? Do you know, Max? How was the audience there in that meeting?
Very few that join except for Lucas and I think they're just it's except for that round here, Wave Labs and TNG, I think there's no one that I'm aware of at the moment.
Okay,
but I might be wrong, and Niels can correct me. And we have
we had a couple of different people from different companies there. It was not a large group, but we had some audience.
Okay,
that's good to know.
That's good. Okay, thanks.
I mean, apart from Wave Labs, I don't see anybody fully interested into taking over at the moment the CI/CD.
Yes, we can. I think we requested Tapas to get involved and get the know-how to help the community. But that's one person, right? We also need a few more. Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand. Yeah, we should be okay. I thought Shubham will be there. If Shubham is not there, then it's going to fall on Tapas. So I'll talk to him and I'll confirm to you, Jordan, in Slack.
I mean, I'll try also to see what we can do. If I mean, as Connect 5G, we cannot take the lead for the CI/CD, but maybe I can find a way how to get the resource from our side as well in future to help with the CI/CD.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Suresh, are you in the call? I know Tapas is sick today, but is this something that I'll get back to you? We can move forward. Thanks.
Kadar, I'm sorry about that. Yes, Tapas is on sick leave today. Anything that you're asking me answer?
Yeah, the question is Tapas will be willing to take a lead on this DevOps meetup, right?
Yeah, in fact, he's quite enthusiastic and he has contributed to release 1.8. And he knows the full process, full life cycle of the release he managed. And he understands the build environment as well. and he managed the 1.8 related daily test runs and then pipelines. So he's capable in terms of the skill wise and then the tool chain. And also he has shown affinity to lead that.
Okay, good. So, and Jordan, you also see in this call, I just noticed we have Bikram, who is from Canada, right? And also we have Mickey and Shikandar. They're all from Canada, from Wave Labs. And they also are the DevOps engineers. They can, I've requested them to at least, if not take a lead, start learning. So just as FYI, Jordan.
If I can suggest, I mean, you don't need to be a member of TSC to lead some of these working groups. So would it be possible for you to start at least the first couple of meetings for this working group for CI/CD, and then we can find somebody to hand it over?
Sure, sounds good. So Bikram, can you work with Tapas to, start this?
Yeah, we are already working on this one, but I was not in position to take any lead on that. So that's why I didn't say anything. But yeah, of course, I'll work with Tapas.
Yeah, work with Tapas, have Tapas to take a lead, and Bikram, Mickey, and maybe Shikandar can Tapas. Yeah, we'll take it up, Jordan, on that.
Thanks.
Shubham, we need some guidance from you on the initial, right? You have been leading this for a while. We need your help.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
If you're interested, feel free to pull me in as well. As Max and Kendall said, we are not interested, or it doesn't make sense that we take the lead on this one, but I'm happy to consult if you are interested.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Cotter, and the Wave Labs team. So the other working group we have is the features working group. I have Yogesh and Jordan down as the volunteer leads. Is that still the case?
Yes, I think last while I was not well, so I couldn't conduct any meetings, but I have a couple of points to discuss, and I'll start meetings in the group. Yep.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
No, I mean, what I wanted to add is that let's try to schedule the first meeting even this week.
Okay.
But I mean, me and you, we need to talk offline. So this is why I was thinking, should I say it or should I not say it? But since you ask, but let's me and you talk offline about this and try to see what we put for the features and what we call the first meeting this week.
Sure.
Cool. Sounds good. And let me know what time you choose, and I can help get the meeting set up and put on the community calendar.
Sure, absolutely, Kendall. We'll reach out.
Fantastic. I believe those are all the working groups, unless there were others that people feel that we should have.
I think there was the discussion that the transition is somehow like a working group, but I don't feel the need that there needs to be
we've put the community transition as a group as well, but we said there is not really a group, but it's a track which we need to follow as well. So I mean, maybe some you can tell us a little bit about that on this meeting.
Yeah, I can. I was just recently out of the loop due to a conference, but I tried to summarize my last state. We had a nice show and tell meeting. We recorded that. We had some participation. The reactions were good, so we are planning to have the next ones. And other than that, Niels needs to state the plan regarding the handoff. But we are on a, I think we have a rather complete list of topics we want to cover. We are heavily working on them, trying to put them into meetings, into documentation, into cleanup, so that they are no longer necessary. And we are making good progress. And as Kendall mentioned, the plan is to that everything is done way before end of Q1, so that even if we missed anything, there's some time in which we can react. And the most next big meeting that is planned is the town hall meeting, and I don't have the schedule on hand. I don't know when it will be, but that will be the next big meeting around the handoff. Niels, you probably want to correct me in a few parts.
No, actually, this was a good summary. So just for the dates, so the next town hall meeting is on 16th of February. So in a little bit less than 2 weeks. And the next show and tell meeting will be this Wednesday. It will be held by Marco, and it will be about the VMs that we use inside of Magma, especially focused on how the base images are created. Yeah, we are looking forward to you as an audience.
So will be interesting with a lot of Ansible, Vagrant, VirtualBox, and Ubuntu. So a lot to learn. Good. I think that was our update.
Thanks, Max. Sam, anything to add for the transition working group?
No, at this time I'm trying to collect the feedback for stack ranking some of the issues, because it's, sooner or later we have to start giving guidance, to request guidance from TSC for areas that need focus as we're coming out of the transition period. The two major issues, as people can tell, are security and CI, because we don't have any continuity on those. So I'm trying to put together some feedback to Jordan and the TSC to consider on these. And other than that, just town hall meeting planning for the next one that's coming up. That's part of the transition. Happy to take a question if it comes up.
So just to add on to that, right? I think we need to also seriously look at testing. We talked about it in one of the previous TSC.
Oh yeah, the plan is to collect all the information and stack rank to the extent we can, and then pass it to TSC for further stack ranking and priority discussion.
Yeah, because right now we don't have any labs that we talked about, right? 4G lab, 5G lab that we need to. It's critical.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go to our next agenda item. Any open issues that are requiring urgent actions?
I think there are two listed below that.
Ah, yes, apologies. Issues with 1.8.
I think that's the memory leak. Who has added that to the checklist or to the agenda?
Yes, it was me, Yogesh. So I think this is one thing which is coming up again and again, and this we have seen with multiple customers. I think someone now reported it as well as part of 14940. I think CPU and memory leak is going very high in 1.8. It's almost like, just to give a perspective, around 200 to 50 UAs, and after 2 days, MME stops responding. So we did a lot of tests around that. So 1.8 seems to be not in a very good position or shape. But 1.9 was little promising. So with 1.9, what happened was we ran around 12 to 13 ENPs with 300 to 350 connections, and it was stable for quite some time. There were some other issues which crept in, but overall the performance was way better than 1.8. I think two main reasons: the C++ migration. I think that was one of the big factor for stabilizing. Of course, I'm trying to put it like in some numbers so that it becomes a little more clear. So I think the customers are not upgrading to 1.8. They just did some trials and then they're going back to 1.6. And the thing is, we have to, only option is going from 1.6 to 1.9, which seems to be a reasonable option. And anyways, whatever we fix on 1.8 might not be forward. Maybe it's not applicable to 1.9 because of C++ migration. So I think there is an urgent need to think about 1.9 release. We are doing some scale test and throughput test. I will try to publish some numbers, but the 1.9 seems to be doing good. So the second trend, what we are seeing is customers are trying 5G NSA. We have fixed a couple of defects around that area. So I think these two will be a good candidates for our 1.9 release. So I just want to set the ball rolling. I know I'll take it up with the features group, but one thing which I wanted was we are really needing for an early release of 1.9. Is there any other feedback, comments, or any other observations?
My observation is that you said that they are that 1.8 is no option and that they are still sitting on 1.6. And I'm not sure if 1.6 gets the is supported from other sites as much as the newer releases. I think installing and upgrade paths and that dependencies are available and all of that, and that the migration work was mostly tested on 1.8.
Yes.
And that might be an issue.
Yes, Max, but the problem what happened was, for 2 days, the system was not stable. The lab, the field trial, so they were forced to move back to 1.6. Of course, there are some issues in 1.6. They can't stay in 1.6 for long, but at least the performance was still okay there. So what we have to take in consideration for the next release is, our migration should test from 1.6 to 1.9 jump. And list down. I know that some of the things will break because of the orchestrator subscriber table, but I think this is, I guess that's the way forward.
I mean, we will need to write a migration steps if we want to go with
Sure,
things
sure.
which, we will need
Yep.
to add migration steps to convert 1.6 to 1.9 if we want to take this roadmap.
Sure. But yeah,
I mean,
what I wanted to bring was, sorry.
Any idea from where this instability with the memory is coming? Is it from the code or it's from the libraries?
It was a live setup, so we were kind of not allowed to do anything. Of course, we have some idea, some features which might have affected it, but somehow we don't have good access.
The reason why I'm asking is because we have 2 sites which are operational for more than a month with users and not be test sites, lab test sites, but still test sites, and we had not experienced any problem with the increase of memory, and we use the same code base, but we are running it with different libraries because we are running it on ARC.
At least on 2 sites, we saw the problems with CPU and memory, both with CPU and memory. So, I think in both cases, customer has to fall back. Yeah, anyways, I think 1.8, we can't fix
No,
anything.
here, just wanted to make it a point, right? Here, we were unable to reproduce this problem because we really did not have that 4G simulator lab, right? To reproduce this memory leak problem. Som, right? That brings back to the discussion of importance of having the lab to reproduce the problems.
Yeah, I think more than reproduction, I think, weekly or bi-weekly testing of this so that we know what we are landing up to. So, yeah, I think both are important. some regular tests as well as.
But this one, what you're talking about is 4G, right? Not 5G.
4G. Yeah, it's 4G.
Yeah,
5G is
clear.
more trial. Yeah.
So
5G. Sorry.
I would like to add that the points we are discussing right now require a lot of work, like maintaining 1.6, having the full migration path from 1.6 to 1.9 tested, and the slab. So I think we should try to identify what we need, but also try to identify what we can do and how we can fit that together.
That's
makes
good.
sense. So test-wise, I would almost consider this to be, I mean, I understand about the test issues, but this is more urgently as a CI issue. In other words, so yeah, let me work offline to get your feedbacks, inputs on this.
I mean, if the priority that you're talking about, so the first priority is the protocol stack, right? I mean, Jordan would agree. Protocol stack and features are the CI/CD, all those are the additional things to it, right? The core is always the quality of the features and the quality of the state machine. I mean, if we don't have that well, I mean, how good you have CI/CD is not going to help you.
Understood.
I think unless Wave Labs is on the same stack, is on the same code base as everybody else, we are distributing our limited resources across two different branches. And to give an example of the problems that creates, security patches would have to be backported to 1.6. So we run a risk of leaving known issues in 1.6 unless we can, I'll start using the same branch.
Yeah, that's a good point, Lucas. I don't think we have enough bandwidth to maintain multiple branches. Maybe we should just focus on, Jordan was saying 1.6 to 1.9 migration, and then move everyone to 1.9 and provide support on only 1.9 and obsolete the previous releases. We don't have simply bandwidth to support multiple releases anymore.
Yeah. And we don't have vulnerability scanning for 1.6, for example. So all the depender-bot findings and updates are just happening on master.
Yeah.
And sometimes backported to 1.8, but 1.6 I have not seen a backport in a while.
Can I have one last detail question, Yogesh? You said that you're testing on 1.9. Do you mean the 1.9 Debian artifact?
Yes. Right now it's Debian artifacts.
Just FYI, this is the artifact that is built with Bazel, and in my opinion, it still needs to be decided by the community if the community wants to go forward with Bazel. So the point is the 1.9 artifact that is currently released is built with Bazel. The one that is still tag 1.8 is created with Make.
So the ARM one, is the ARM one Make Nels?
Sorry, I don't know if my connection is bad, but I didn't catch that.
Pardon me. Is the ARM artifact Make?
There is no ARM artifact for the access gateway.
That's just Dockerized.
Yeah. The Debian artifact
containers.
not
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. Yeah.
I think we lost news. Or...
We just had too many race conditions. But I think the summary is there is no Debian artifact for ARM published, since ARM is just Dockerized. The Debian artifacts are just used for the non-Dockerized installation.
So Yokesh, can you comment? Are you using Bazel-based build or make build on your testing? Because we Bazel is not something that is decided to move forward, right?
Yeah, maybe we tested, at least in local, we tested both 1.8 and 1.9. In the site which we are testing, we have tried both.
The question is, are you using the Bazel-based build artifacts for your testing? Or are you using the traditional make file?
Meaning in our local development, I'm using local Mac.
The problem with which we have here is that we started the transition to Bazel, and now we are in a situation where we have Bazel and Make. We cannot maintain both of them for a long. Either we abandon the transition to Bazel, or we completely remove Make. And there are two separate things over there which were discussed in the Bazel. There is a Bazel for the build of the artifacts and Bazel for the build on the Docker containers. And I mean, I was against the Bazel for the build of the Docker containers, but this is subject maybe for another discussion. What we discuss into this is Bazel or Make for the build of the artifacts. And Niels and Max, correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
Yeah, that's right. But you should keep in mind that already a lot of stuff is migrated to Bazel without make fallbacks. I think
I will come there. No, I will come there. I just wanted to set up the scope of the discussion.
Yeah, that's right.
So now, and this is what I was going to say next. We have issue that some of the things are already built in Bazel, and we don't have them in Make, which means that they already start diverging. If we want to fall back on Make, we will need to spend additional effort in order to come back to bring Make to the position at which we have Bazel at the moment. And I mean, on my opinion, Bazel is much more superior for building the artifacts. While I don't consider Bazel very good solution for building Docker machines from a different reason, for building a code, I consider Bazel as much more superior alternative to Make. Now,
maybe if we
as
already
soon as-
started now discussing
as-
this topic, can I give a little bit more detail?
Yes,
I
please.
think we are departing from the main topic into a different important topic, but I would keep that different important topic for its own round. I would prefer to say Make versus Bazel is a big thing. And we should try to discuss it maybe in the next TSC meeting. Would that be good?
No, I would
left.
I would say we call a specific meeting just to discuss this. Let's have dedicated 1 hour between TSC and maybe whoever else wants to join, and to discuss. Of course, Niels, you need to join to tell us all these things. But on a high level now, we need to, everybody who is here needs to understand that we are really faced with the problem, and we need to make a decision about the how we move forward. Because more we wait, more problems we will have, either to fall back to Make, or we will spend huge amount of effort maintaining Make, which we could have put into transition to Bazel.
I think transition to Bazel is a efficient option, Jordan. I second what you said. However, as part of the transitioning from 1.6 to 1.9, if that requires us to maintain both for some time, that's a possibility we need to look at.
Correct. And we need to shorten this period of maintaining both of them, and we need to understand which parts we maintain, which parts we don't care about, and we remove them.
And we have very important topics on the agenda after that thing. I think it needs more room. It's nothing that we can finish in 10 minutes remaining. Sorry for.
Yeah, let's move.
cut
As I
the-
said, no issue. As I
Yeah,
said,
next.
no. We call separate meeting for this.
Yeah,
So let's move on
next
the next
item would be Artifactory and the 403 returns that we still get, and that we still have issues and with Artifactory, and that it also comes up in different conversations again and again in general questions. And Fabio, I think we have you in round to check if there's an update from JFrog side or if we have a way forward.
Hello, team. Well, yeah, actually, there is an update that I talked to my manager in Linux Foundation, Andy, so he's going to be changing the support plan of the JFrog that will hopefully enable this fix. But besides that, yeah, we are still following the ticket related to the problem when someone needs to download a set of artifacts instead of one, that it gives a 403. So yeah, I already talked to Andy, and he will talk to the part to basically acquire a better support plan for our JFrog Artifactory because it's the cloud version, and hopefully that will help us to fix this issue.
Okay, do you have an ETA on that? When will it happen?
No, because we are, I think, Andy told me that they need approval from the financial part, but I will get back at you and send it in the channel to set a deadline. I will talk with Andy about that.
Okay, maybe I don't know if we have any way of mitigating that issue. It gets more and more annoying, but I don't have the technical understanding to.
Yeah, I have a question
Hmm?
to Fabio. Can we move the packages to Launchpad?
Can you repeat? Sorry, if we can move to?
We have Debian packages, so the official way which many Debian packages are distributed via, that is via Launchpad. Like if you want to install Ansible, you can just, like similar to Docker Hub. Docker Hub is for Docker images. Similarly, Launchpad is just for the Debian images. I can share the website's link. It's very common, so you must, yeah, you can just click on this link.
Well, I will review it. I don't know if that how that will solve our issue. At the end, we are just providing the Artifactory, and yeah, I'm actually not with my laptop now due to an internet problem, but I will check that, and we'll reach in Slack too, so that we can talk a little more about this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
sure.
we need to know what is the root cause of this issue, because at the end of the day, serving Debian packages is actually, we can do it even with FTP server. You just put the FTP server, put the whole directory, the folder structure from the repository to the FTP server, and then you will serve it. This is how the aptitude works, basically. But why we are receiving this 403 errors? Why the users are rejected? And I was also building these days. I was building the latest packages with from the master, and I also had problems with the timeouts and the 403 on the repository. I needed to rerun it 10 times the same build in order to finish it.
Niels and others did a great analysis of that. And it seems to be, we have some understanding. We can reproduce it. We know that it is AWS hosted backend that where the URLs. with the token expire too fast. So we have a lot of details in there, and so we have an understanding of the root cause, but we have no way of I don't know, Fabio, I think you forwarded all this analysis and explained that to JFrog.
Yeah. So the case is that we don't actually own the server itself. It's a cloud, it's a SaaS. So that's why we don't have like, this wasn't happening with the old setup because we control the server. In this case, because it's a SaaS, I don't have access to run anything, only through support. And because this is how they work, it's like, we don't have like other way to bypass it while we are still using their services. I don't know, maybe with other solution and I don't have in mind, but we know, like, as Maxime says, the issue can be reproduced and it's related to the token expiry. And the thing is that we cannot change it ourselves. We need to do it for support, and that's what we are stuck because of the support plan and the way that the tickets are slow, and they say that they don't see any problem from their side. They ask us to whitelist some URLs that don't have a sense. And yeah, that's why I actually talked to my manager to see if he can actually bump or at least escalate this issue to have it fixed.
Okay, but then I mean, if we are paying for this service and we are not getting service, maybe we need to start thinking about alternative.
It's free.
Yeah, that's the case. It's open source for Linux Foundation itself. So I think it doesn't have a cost. That was one of the reasons why we move it from our old server. So that is why the support doesn't, we don't have like a support plan, and that's why we are focusing now.
Okay. I mean, if it is for free, you get what you paid for. So understood. So Max, I mean, what would be the next steps, and who will be working on it to
I don't know, from our side, we have nothing, so we have no control over that. We have no way of interacting with that. We did an analysis and found the root cause, but we can't. So from the DevOps side, there's not an easy way forward or a solution of the problem. There might be ways to mitigate that. We might just change it around and instead pull all the Debian files from a blob storage and then just install with dpkg-i. I don't know. It's right now the current setup that we have with LF and the Artifactory is buggy, and we need to find a way out of there.
Okay, so then I mean, and we get this from Linux Foundation, correct?
Yeah, that's via the LF account.
Okay,
that's why
so
we have
then,
going around to
maybe maybe Kendall, you can help us then where to discuss this and how to escalate it in LF in order to get it addressed.
Okay, if you want, I can actually book a meeting with my manager. I think he will be the right, because he's the technical lead of the release engineer in Linux Foundation. And I can set a meeting for this week, tomorrow maybe. I need to check his calendar, and if you can join, we can discuss it all together.
Yep, I will be interested into having such meeting.
Sure, I will ask for all the attendance, and I will mostly sure send it to Maxime or all the other DevOps members, and they will forward to to anyone that wants to join. Okay, if you need any update, let me know. I will get back at you on the ATA related to the support plan and what actually takes consideration, and we'll let you know when with the response from my manager.
Thanks.
Fabio. Okay, we are out of time now, but is there anything pressing that we need to discuss today? Okay, I'll take the silence as a no, so we can go ahead and end here. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.